What's up, internet? How we doing? I decided to do a little video on why I chose to take the spiritual route over the material route with my life. It's a question that baffles most people, because most people are like, everybody else isn't doing that, why are you doing that? Kind of makes you weird. And I'm like, what if you're the weird one? But I don't want to be an asshole about it. So I'm going to try to be nice. Not nice, but, because nice means foolish, but I want to try to be respectful. Now, there's a few things that I've come across in my life that have opened my eyes to the reality of the spiritual world and how much it affects people without them knowing that it affects them. So I'm going to start with a couple confessions. Give you a visual, about 17, and I had a really bad drug problem. I used to take Adderall, and I'm not talking like 1 and 2 Adderall. I'm talking like handfuls of Adderall at a time. Extended release, XR, the big ones, the orange ones. Anybody that knows anything about Adderall knows those are nothing to play with. You know, I'm taking 10 and 15 of them a day like it's nothing, not even realizing that I'm taking them. And I had a moment of clarity in the midst of all this, because I had mixed Adderall and ecstasy. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, shit. I don't even know how many Adderall in my system. I've taken 3 triple stack Amsterdam ecstasy pills, and now I'm sitting here thinking I'm going to die. What am I going to do? Holy shit. God, if you're there, if you can hear me, I need you to make me high right now. You know, and something came over me. I'm not saying that I seen God. I'm not saying that I've, seen anything. But I felt something. I felt something. I heard my own inner voice, basically shake me to the point to where it was like, listen, you can't do those things. You're not meant for that. And it made me start questioning things after that. I'm like 17 and I'm still in the, hood life, doing thug life shit and running around and selling drugs and doing drugs and, oh my God, let's go get drunk and, doing dumb shit. And I would have these instances where I would, being energy sensitive, and that's a lot of the problem, is a lot of these people that have all these drug problems are very, very, very spiritually aware, and they just block that shit out. They're like, oh, I don't want to hear that. That ain't real. That ain't real. That's just my imagination. No, motherfucker. That shit is real. And, it took these instances of, me being fucked up around fucked up people to see this. And, it would be where I was sitting at parties and I'd be, drinking or doing whatever, and then I'd see something. And I knew that I seen it, because the other drunk motherfucker beside me had seen it too. And I'd look over at them, and we'd kind of look at each other, but we wouldn't say nothing. I seen that shit, dog. And I would ask these people, in the middle of, their blackout drunkenness, because I have a theory about blackout drunks. I believe that when people get blacked out drunk like that, they're out of their body. Those are, spirits or entities or whatever done jumped up in them. You can call me crazy all you want, but you need to research this shit before you jump my shit about it. I've seen people black out drunk and, become total different people. They're not even the same people no more. You're looking at them like, you ain't my friend. I don't know who you are, guy. And I see it all the time. Well, I did see it all the time before I, got myself out of that situation. And I've had instances where I could have changed my entire life and went after large amounts of money and decided not to because I didn't feel morally sound about it because of situations like the whole blacked out drunkenness. When you watch somebody be so intoxicated on some other type of shit and their eyes go from one way to another and they start talking about, shit that they shouldn't really be saying, and it's like you almost know, you have like a knowing, and I know anybody that's dealt with a blackout drunk can tell me what I'm saying is true. It's literally like you were looking at the devil or a demon and they are talking straight to you. You're standing there talking to somebody that is clearly not themselves, has no recollection of what happened, can't tell you who they are or where they're from or anything in this moment, but they can tell you personal information about you and your situation, and things like, a lot of, even police officers or bartenders or whoever can, vouch in this situation. A lot of people that get that inebriated and can't even see straight are like on autopilot. They're like hollowed themselves out with all these toxins, and they're being taken over by all of this. It's just nasty, and their spirit is so diluted at that point that they're having these psychic attacks from all different angles, and they don't even realize what's going on. So they like have those, like there's the different types of blackout drunks too. There's the ones that get all sexual, and that attunes to like the succubuses. And then you got the ones that get all blackout drunk and then they get violent. That attunes with just a straight up demon. Like, motherfucker, you was fine 5 minutes ago, and now you got like 4 fucking hennies in you, and you're ready to fight everybody in the house. Look, let me see your eyes. I got tired of doing that shit. And not being able to say anything. I'm so wrapped up in, the spiritual warfare and all this stuff going around, and I don't have anybody to talk to about it. So I'm going to talk to you, internet. How we doing? For real. This is why I'm weird, and this is why I don't give a fuck. Because I've seen this shit. I've experienced this shit. I watched this movie the other day, and this part hit me in a way that it hadn't hit me before. And it was the movie Constantine. And the Archangel Gabriel come over to Constantine and straight told him, looked him straight in the face. And when she said this, I was like, you got me. Oh, I've been got. And I'm like, well, shit, you're right. Archangel Gabriel looked at Constantine and was like, you don't believe in God anymore. There's a difference between believing and knowing. And it was like so deep in that moment, and then it like hit me. I'm like, well, shit. what fuck? What do I do now? Of course I know. I've seen enough of this shit. I know it's real. But the believing part was, I didn't believe I could do anything about it. And it got me to the point to where I was like, no, wait a minute. I can do something about it. I can better myself and get myself out of certain situations and avoid certain people, and not get around certain things. In the last year, I've changed my life significantly. I've gone vegan. I've changed a lot of the people that I hang out with. I don't drink anymore. I haven't done any type of drugs, hard drugs, since I was 19 years old. And I've turned my life around, and I've changed myself because I got a higher calling, and because I felt like I'm not here just for myself. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. It's not about being famous, and it's not about having all kinds of money, and it's not about having all types of, material riches. That's only, if that's a part of your journey, if you want, let me rephrase. If you want to make that a part of your journey, that's you. If you want that, you have that. You do that. You go for that. I wish you nothing but the best, and I hope that those material things can do whatever you think they can do for you, you know. But if you also feel in your heart that you don't need those things, that is okay too. You know, you don't have to have the nice shoes and the nice car and the nice whatever to have, you know, a fulfilled life or a happy life or a, you know, something to hold on to get up in the morning and breathe. You know, I'm a single mother. I went through the whole hood rat phase where it was all like, you know, swerve on him, I don't need him, you know, type shit. I went through all that. I had the whole baby mama drama moments. Everybody had. It's not my proudest times of my life, but it happens. You know, but it's just all the point of coming back to myself and realizing, you know, maybe all the things that I was programmed all these years to believe are not necessarily right. You know, maybe going around and having all the flashy stuff and doing all the flashy things and being like, oh, I can go drop a couple G's on this, and this, and I ain't gonna have nothing to show for it, but hey, I did it, right? You know, I just started realizing that didn't mean anything. And I wanted to have the memories. I wanted to have the compassion and the, you know, knowing that I'm different and I'm weird as fuck, but I have a heart of gold. And my intentions are pure down to the last notch, down to the last little bit of breath that comes out. You know, I want to help create a better world. You know, I want to help create, you know, stability and wholeness among people that have never had it. You know, I want people to understand that it's okay to be different and that it's all right to, you know, experience things that aren't necessarily normal. You know, it's okay to understand that normal is a lie. Normal is not real. You know, the idea of normal is maybe a reality to some people, but not to everyone. You know, there's too many of us out here that are extremely different. You know, we're intuitive, we're empathic, you know, we're telepathic, we're spiritually gifted like you wouldn't believe. And we don't really have sources to turn to. You know, there's kids dealing with, you know, post-traumatic stress. They're going and they're sitting in their high school dealing with all kinds of problems at home, all kinds of problems on the street, and there's no type of people for them to look up to. You know, a couple years ago, 10 years ago, you know, 20 years ago, back in the 80s, there were so many positive role models. There were so many strong women and strong men that stood up for the hood and stood up for the ghetto and stood up for the people that were on the struggle. So many people that made careers off of expressing their love and their heart about their people. You know, if it wasn't for, you know, people like that, there wouldn't be as much compassion and as much beauty in the world that there is now. You know, and I'm not trying to say Hollywood's got some magical la 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 on everybody. They kind of do, but they kind of don't. You know, because it also takes the people, and I'm starting to realize that. You know, when groups of people come together, they can change an entire town and cause a ripple effect and have it branch out. But when groups of people get together and they're also backed by Hollywood and backed by certain causes and backed by people that have a little bit of, you know, popularity amongst the masses, that right there is amazing. It's unstoppable. You know, it's so beautiful to see, you know, different people that have all of that, have all the money in the world and have everything you could possibly think of, but then they still think to be like, oh, you know, Chandra and Lauren over here on blah 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 street didn't have enough food to feed their family, so I'm gonna go, and I ran into them at the store and I got enough family to feed their people, so let me go help them. You know, that's not just something It's not just something that celebrities can do, but it is something nice. You know, it is something to do for someone else. You know, feel. You know, what if weirdness is feeling? What if being a space cadet like me just means I feel the earth and I feel nature and I feel the natural flow of what's going on so much deeper. That's why I reach out to people. That's why when I see people at the grocery store scrounging for change, I'll be like, oh, I got it. In all reality, I don't got it. You know, but it's okay to be different. And it's okay to be weird. And it's okay if people don't understand that. Just because they don't understand that, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. That means that they need to look into it a little bit more. You know, just be understanding and, you know, explain yourself to an extent, but always walk in truth. Always walk in love and always walk in light, and you can't go wrong. You know, 13 Love, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to post this because it's 16 minutes. YouTube only really gives me 15, but we'll try. One more time. Unity, it's okay to be weird. It's okay to be weird. It is okay not to be normal. Normal is a lie. 13 Love, and have a great night.